Those teachers at EP Robbers pulling up stakes and refusing to show up to teach. And SuperValue sitting pretty as its main competitor appears in disarray. We have the inside look. Get ready. It's the Bahamas Tonight, Tuesday, September 27th, and it's all starting right now.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Good to have you along this evening. This is the Bahamas Tonight National Report. I'm Shanique Miller. The search for Marco Archer now into its fifth night. The family of the 6th grade Columbus Primary School student who has been missing since last Friday strongly believe he may have been kidnapped. And tonight, they're making a public appeal to help them find the 11-year-old. At the same time, a frantic appeal was also made for his alleged abductors to set him free. Now, this case took a new twist late this afternoon as family members rushed to eastern New Providence after word spread that he might have been found. LaDawn Davis also rushed to the scene and provides us with details as they unfolded.
When 11-year-old Marco Archer took a 5-minute walk down Broome Street to buy some candy on Friday, his family never imagined that he would not return home.
He was sent to the shop. He was home with my mom, and he went to the shop for my mom. And when he came back from the shop, she sent him for some Baygon. When he came back from the shop, he asked her for the change from this Baygon, and she gave him the change to go and buy candy. And he never came back. It was 2 places he could have went, and that's Texaco gas station on Blue Road and Joe's Takeaway just across from Texaco gas station.
Marco's sister, Tanisha Hume, says this devastating ordeal and the fact that Marco has been missing for almost 5 days now has left a toll on his family. His mother, Troifema Meadows, who appeared visibly shaken, did not comment on camera, but is said to be worried sick about the whereabouts of her youngest child. She questions why would someone kidnap him. The young boy's family strongly feel the person or persons who may have allegedly abducted him might be a familiar face.
My family, we're frustrated, and the more time passes, the more we hurt, and we want to find our brother and find out what's wrong with him, if he is hurt, or I know that he's scared wherever he is. I think that somebody picked him up, and it has to be somebody that he knows or that he might be familiar with, and they're holding him against his will. I don't know, and I don't want to even guess what they might be doing to him.
Now, a lead that seemed promising led the family to a farm in the Joe Farrington Road area, but when they got there, young Marco was not there.
We was informed by some people in the area where we live that the alleged person that possibly might have my brother, the officers already have this gentleman in custody, and apparently they checked his home and they checked his shop, and he was not there. We was informed that he has a farm, okay, and the farm is located Joe Farrington Road or Yamaco area. That's what we heard. We checked the neighbors in the area, and one of the neighbors, after we identified the gentleman and his mom.
It's only me and our family. We're doing the best we can. We all about searching for him. We tell the police we'd be fine, and no one is assisting us from this happen. I haven't seen no police in the area doing no search, talking to the public. I haven't seen it.
Now, while Marco Archer's family say the public and the police are not doing all they can to help them find their missing relative, head of the Crime Prevention Unit, Superintendent Stephen Dean, told ZNS News that officers in the Southern Division, under the supervision of David DeVoe, are canvassing the community for clues and passing out flyers in hopes that little Marco Archer is soon reunited with his family. LaDawn Davis, ZNS News.
So unfortunate. Well, this evening we're joined by Superintendent Stephen Dean, Director of the National Crime Prevention Office. Superintendent Dean, good evening. Without going into much detail about this afternoon's development, what can you tell us?
I can tell you at the moment police have an active missing person investigation that they've launched. All stocks, everybody is involved in this investigation. As was spoken of earlier, we have the officers from the Southern Division led by Superintendent David DeVoe, the origin of the area, and we have the Central Detective Team and all officers on alert throughout the RBPF and are looking for this child. We are assisting, we're doing everything that we can. At this time, we can say that we are following some significant lead in this matter, and we will not stop until we conclude exactly what happened.
Now, the search for Marco is into its 5th night, and your experience as an officer, do you fear the worst, the fact that the child has now been missing for 5 days?
Well, as my experience will tell me not to come to no presumptuous conclusions. What we will do, we will investigate the matter, and as the investigation leads us into direction, we'll be able to make determination, and we'll be able to say exactly what has happened in this matter.
Now let's talk about protecting your kids. You are in charge of National Crime Prevention Officer. You want to prevent this from happening in future. Is it not enough these days to tell your kids not to talk to strangers?
Well, that is part of the thing. That's high on the agenda, that we should tell our kids not to talk to strangers. But there are some other things from the National Crime Prevention Office that we do, that we ensure that the Royal Bahamas Police Force, we have this on our website. We are daily in the schools, we are daily throughout communities trying to get this message out, but we will always use opportunities to get the message out. We want to tell parents, and particularly adults, guardians who have supervision of children. First, we are telling them to say no to strangers, particularly those persons who come and ask them for directions. There's no reason an adult should be coming to a young child, 5 years old, 4 years old, asking them for directions. So be wary of those persons. It's okay to say no to those type of persons. To parents, we are saying, please. We have seen it happen over and over. Parents dropping their children off to shopping malls. They're dropping their children off to the movies. Some parents are dropping their children out to nightclubs in the nighttime and have to pick them up early in the morning. We are saying to parents, please, do not take that chance with your children. Do not leave your children unattended in vehicles. Too often we have complaints of parents leaving their children unattended in vehicles. We're saying to parents, know the surroundings where you live. This is the time you should know your neighbors. You should know who live in your community. You should have a fair idea. You should know. Set boundaries in your community. Check for your children frequently. Too often our children are left unattended for long periods of time. And only when the alert comes out, then we start to look for our children. Periodically, you should be checking for your children. Checking for your children. Tell your children to say no to things that persons or strangers are offering them gifts. An invitation of treats are being presented to the children. We want them to say no to those things.
It's almost synonymous in our country to have kids walking, and I'm talking primary school age kids, walking to school early in the morning, in the evening, or in the afternoon, late in the afternoon. You see them this afternoon, for example. I saw, 2 kids walking, primary school kids walking home from school. How dangerous is that? And if the parent can't avoid this, what should they do to ensure their kids' safety?
We live in a society where we recognize the challenges of some of our parents, particularly in our inner cities where they have to walk to schools. But we are saying to your children, to parents, please, as much as humanly possible, get a responsible adult to walk your children to and from school. And particularly the younger ones, particularly the ones who are in kindergartens and in preschool. They should not be walking alone to school. Talk to your children, parents, more often. Give them safety tips. Tell them what to look for. 911. They should know emergency numbers. Too often we even find children, when they're found, do not even know their home number, do not even know their parents' last name, do not know where their parents live. These are things that are critical to parents. And additionally, parents, sometimes parents cannot give a good description of their children. We are asking them to tell them if any significant mark on their children that you can identify your children by. Please, stop what you're doing. I think we reached that point that we must begin to focus on our children. Our children could be various targets for these perpetrators. So we need you to work with the police. This is not only a police or government problem. Parents, this responsibility cannot be transferred to anybody else. It is yours. It's non-negotiable. It's your responsibility.
And I know, of course, the onus is on the parent, but tell us, finally, just tonight, tell us about kids. Kids must also be smart as well. Should they not become a victim of an abductor or would-be sex offender? Just speak to them tonight directly and tell them what is it that they should or should not do.
Well, we say to children, please, do not walk in areas alone. Do not go into areas by yourself. Do not go into cars. Persons might be asking you to come into a car, come for a ride. Please, we're saying to you, do not respond to those things. Say no. Children, learn to say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no in all situations. Be satisfied with what your parents give you. Do not take things from strangers.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Stephen Dean, who is Director of the National Crime Prevention Office. We certainly hope the best in the Marco Archer case. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest developments as they happen. That standoff between management and teachers at E.P. Roberts Primary School continued today. Teachers refused to enter the classroom, protesting what they term a shortage of teachers at E.P. Roberts. It's the latest round of industrial action staged by those teachers there over conditions at the school. Fern Carey has more.
We're going to make sure they fix this school, physically and educationally. Whether it takes, I don't know, by any means necessary.
That's how many parents say they feel about the teacher shortage at E.P. Roberts Primary School. This as students arrived at school Tuesday, only to meet classrooms without teachers. That's because they staged a sit-out, hoping to bring attention to the ongoing reported shortage of teachers there. As a result, scores of students milled about the school's Lincoln Boulevard grounds or outside the gate, unsure whether to stay or go, while angry parent Sasha Saunders took her children home.
My heart goes out to all the parents that left their kids here from 8:30 just to go to work. What happens to them? My thing is as well, this has been going on from the first day of school. The first day of school, this has been going on, and up to this day, nothing has been done.
Shortly afterwards, the school's principal, Kendall Burrows, tried to convince parents not to take their children out of school. But this father wasn't convinced.
Tomorrow I'll come back and see if they have any teachers. But as far as today, I'm taking it home.
This latest incident comes on the heels of earlier industrial action by teachers at the start of the new school term due to a leaky roof, mold, and what they claimed insufficient teachers at E.P. Roberts Primary. District Superintendent Dr. Willard Barr admitted that there is a challenge attracting teachers at E.P. Roberts because it's not a popular school. However, he says 3 new teachers are in place with more expected by month's end.
We have already sought financial clearance to hire few more teachers for the school, but the process, as you know, is not an overnight process, and so that is a concern that we have.
Meantime, the BUT president had this to say.
The actions that teachers take is for the betterment of the entire school. Yes, the children may miss a day or 2, but however, in the long run, it will benefit them, and they will be in an environment that's conducive for learning.
Now, teachers did return to the classroom this afternoon. However, Wilson says they won't begin classes until Wednesday morning. Now, parents say they will be monitoring the situation in the next few days to ensure that their kids get the education they deserve here at E.P. Roberts Primary School. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
Well, it appears that efforts are still being made to repair the leaky roof at E.P. Roberts. The leak was one of the issues prompting teachers to withdraw their services at the start of the new school term earlier this month. BUT President Belinda Wilson said this about the situation.
We need to stop giving patronage to political cronies. We need to give jobs to persons who are qualified to do the job properly. When we turn around and we give a job, especially when you talk about a roof in building, you must be skilled. And when you turn around, you give jobs to persons who are not skilled and not qualified, it costs the government double. And so we're here now dealing, although the school is old, but we're dealing with a situation that's reoccurring every year because the roof was never fixed properly in the first place.
Shifting to news from the courts, yesterday the courts charged the parents of a toddler who died in a car crash with his death. 25-year-old Delano Coakley Sr. and his girlfriend Nakessa Missick, 25, were each granted $10,000 bail on Monday after being charged with manslaughter by negligence. The couple is accused of negligently causing the death of their son Delano Coakley Jr. back on August 24th. The toddler was reportedly in the arms of his mother when the accident happened. The case has been adjourned to January of next year. In the meantime, Coakley and Missick have to sign in at the nearest police station in their area once a month. Attorney Calvin Seymour is representing them.